Hey, what's going on? It's Paul Allen, your play-by-play voice, with Ron Johnson from Fox 9's Vikings Game Day Live and Minnesota Vikings Radio Network analyst Pete Bercich. Welcome to Virtual Vikings Game Plan. Off a victory against Jacksonville, 2 in a row for the Vikings. Now they take on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here are the numbers, gentlemen, comparing the Buccaneers and the Minnesota Vikings. Ron Johnson, what do you pull from these numbers?
Well, as the season goes on, what you're noticing is everybody's kind of just plateauing. I mean, there's not going to be any huge leap from 26 all the way back up to 5. And so nothing really jumps out to me that's like, okay, one team's going to dominate over the other. I think it's going to come down to turnovers.
What about you, Peter?
You look at Tampa Bay, and there's the things that they don't do well. One is running the football, and what they do well is stopping the run on defense. So, they have a very, very good athletic front seven on defense. It's amazing to watch a guy like Ndamukong Suh still running around out there. Golston's out there running around. Pierre-Paul. I mean, you have a lot and a couple very, very good linebackers in Davis and White. We're going to have to continue to run to take advantage of some, try to get some plays down the field, but they have a very, very good front.
So here we are taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're off an extremely late season bye, and they've lost 2 in a row. What are we getting into here, Ron?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it's a Tom Brady that's old, so he needed the rest. You look at Gronkowski as well. He's older, a little long in the tooth, as Pete would say. What Tom Brady's doing now is he's forcing it. He's trying to make things happen. It's almost like he wants his legacy to be something that it already is. And I think he's forcing it, though, now. These last 5 weeks, adding Antonio Brown, I think that's kind of screwing with the chemistry a little bit. You look at the early ons where he would look for Tyler Johnson. He's looking for all these other guys. Now it's like, I got to give Antonio his looks, and then I'm going to come back to Godwin. I'm going to come back to Mike Evans. So their pass-to-run ratio is a little off. You still have Gronkowski. So I think what Tom Brady did was maybe add too many weapons, and it's messing with their chemistry a little bit.
And Pete, you mentioned that Buccaneers run defense, and they're off this late season bye, man. So they give up 74 rushing yards a game, number 1 in the NFL. And we are a run first team with Dalvin. So how does this work?
Yeah, well, it works because it's Todd Bowles. And what's interesting with this Tampa Bay team is how much heat their coordinators have gotten between Byron Leftwich and when he decides to run and who he's handing the football off to, and then Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator. You'll see their front seven, those 5 guys on a line, linebackers up tight, and then behind them you're going to see safeties about 20 to 25 yards deep. And now you've got this gigantic lane of about 15 yards underneath the safeties, behind the linebackers. That's where guys like Rudolph and Thielen like to live. That's the area that we're going to have to take advantage of, and you're going to have to run the football to do that. I think the cutback run game will be there, possibly be there for some bigger runs, but I think the play action pass and the dumps and the things right underneath those safeties behind those linebackers is the area we'll have to go after.
To the Buccaneers offense and a weekly conversation I have on KFAN with a radio show called X's and O's with Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer. We discussed Tom Brady, of course, but what about his receivers, Zim, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin?
Well, Evans is a big, strong, physical guy with great speed, catches the ball really well. Godwin's is a guy he's tough. He does a lot of the dirty work. He'll sit in there and very Larry Fitzgerald-esque, the way he plays. Has great speed, catches the ball well. They've got really, tremendous players at every position on their whole football team, really.
Now, we have Tyler Johnson in there, of course, and Scotty Miller, and you mentioned Antonio Brown. But, Ron, specifically Mike Evans, what makes him so tough?
Well, he's strong. He's big. He uses his body. He knows his frame. And Tom Brady does a good job as well, is putting the ball where his long arms can get to it. But, I mean, honestly, when you look at the 50-50 ball, he wins, and that's the key. He's going to out-jump you, and he's kind of got like a new bravado. I mean, you look at a couple years ago where he was able in the run game pick up a DB and slam him to the ground. He's kind of gotten that new confidence too of just like, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm going to be a bully when I have to. And I think that's what makes him good is his confidence. And he knows one-on-one, if you give me that matchup, even though Cameron Dantzler's long and tall as well, Mike Evans feels like he can beat anybody one-on-one.